All right, we're going to talk about accounting, your accounting department, people and processes. My name is Flint Holbrook. I am the president and founder of TruckSpy. We're a full suite telematics provider. This video is not really about telematics. It's about your business strategy and how you get things done. So, do you have a formal accounting department? Who's in that accounting department? And what are the processes that accounting department does on a day in and day out basis? So if you own or manage a trucking company, you need to get smart about your accounting. Like, you would be surprised how many people don't know their numbers and don't understand their profitability and aren't watching their accounts receivable. So these are all really critical things. So let's talk first about who you should have in your accounting department. You need somebody, and this might be you. In a small company, the manager might do several of these roles. You need somebody that understands the P&L and understands the balance sheet. You need somebody that can close the monthly books, that can reconcile to your bank account, and that can produce a set of financial statements that you're comfortable having, turning over to a bank and having a banker look at. You've got to have confidence in those numbers. You've got to know, hey, our fuel expense is up this month. Why is that? Our maintenance expense is up. Why is that? So, I want to challenge you, know your numbers. The worst businessman in the world does not know his numbers. If you look at successful people, they know their numbers, they understand their balance sheet, they understand their P&L. So processes, how do you get to a good balance sheet and a good P&L? Well, you need to define good accounting periods. You need to be diligent about entering things in your accounting software, so invoices, both outbound invoices and inbound invoices. You got to manage your working capital. So we're out hauling all these loads, we're invoicing customers. They probably have net 30 terms unless you're using a factoring company. You've got to stay on top of your AR. So working capital is a huge use of cash in your business, and you need somebody in that accounting department. Their job is to collect AR. And I want to challenge you to incentivize that person and say, look, if our AR is, and I'm just making up numbers, look at your historicals, let's always be pulling your AR days down. So if you've been averaging 40 days, go to your AR person and say, look, I challenge you to get to 30 days outstanding in the AR. And if you can do that, I'm going to give you a bonus of, I don't know, $200 a month or whatever the number is that makes sense in your business. And you've got to be calling, you've got to be collecting that AR. When you see something out there that's getting close to 30 days, pick up the phone, call the customer, say, hey, did you guys get the invoice? Did you have questions? What are you missing? When can we expect this invoice to get paid? And I realize that this is like a pain in the butt. It takes a bunch of time. You have to do it. If you look at companies that are in the trucking space that are really successful, they don't have a lot of cash tied up in working capital. And they're using that cash to build their business. They're buying equipment. They're hiring staff. They're out, using cash to grow the business. They don't have cash just sitting there in working capital. So free up your cash. The next thing is manage your payables. So when payables come in, they need to get entered. If you haven't set dates that you pay bills, you should do that. So you should say, we're going to pay bills, and figure it out, whatever makes sense for your business. Maybe it's the 10th and the 20th, or the 15th and the 25th, or whatever it is. And you pay bills on that day. You batch them up. You pay them by ACH or check. You go in and you make all those entries in your accounting system. This is a really good way so that you don't have to have somebody all the time focused on your payables, right? We focus on payables 4 days a month here in this company, and they come in. We put them in the box. We then pay them all in the batch, and that's how we minimize our focus on invoices and payables. You got to focus on your AR all the time. So these are three really key accounting practices and people that you need in your organization. So one, you need somebody that can close the books, and you need somebody that can put together a P&L and balance sheet that you are comfortable giving to a banker, and that person needs to know the numbers inside and out. Number two, you need somebody focused on AR. And your AR needs to be really tight. You need to be collecting AR within your invoice terms and preferably faster. You've got to stay focused there. Number three, you got to have a payables process to manage your working capital. And somebody's got to be in charge of that process so that bills get paid on time, bills get paid correctly. You don't double pay or overpay your invoices. This is just some tips on accounting people and processes.